The violence caused such silence. Who are we mistaken? But you see, it's not me, it's not my family. In your head, they are fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are crying. In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Hey, hey, what's in your head? In your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. Hey, 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 oh. Another mother's breaking, heart is taking over. The violence causes silence. We must be mistaken. It's the same old thing since 1916. In your head, they're still fighting with their tanks and their bombs and their bombs and their guns. In your head, they are dying. In your head.
Zombie, 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 it's in your head, zombie, 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 oh. I love that song, man, because it calms me down with people with, when they be ignorant and stupid. And, you got to be humble. Welcome, Joe Manchek, Michael Oates, Sam Michael, my brother. What's up? Hello. Courtney, what's going on? Michelle, Sabrina. Want to thank all y'all for tuning in tonight. This is going to be a controversial live stream. It's going to be real controversial. People going to be mad. But, I can't care. I know about what's going on out here, right? Why the whole title is a deep dive into Zionism and who the Jews really are. Because people think these people are real Jews, and they're not, biblically or according to history. And we're going to deal with that. So what I want to do, I want to start out, I want y'all to understand what Zionism is first. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to check out Zionism, and then we're going to go why it's so dangerous and why everybody who is against Zionism, why it's such a controversial thing. Why there are two Zionist political action committees that control Congress. AIPAC, which is American Israeli Political Action Committee, and the whole thing is for America to be about Israel. That's what that PAC is about. And then you have CPAC, which is the conservative political, but all they do is jerk each other off about who's going to support Israel more. So both of those are Zionist PACs, and all they do is push the propaganda of Zionism. There are Jews who are against Zionism, and we're going to point that out in this rant as well, but we're going to know exactly what nationality these people are, because they're not Jews. If you're a Jew, you are from the country of Judah. That's why you're called a Jew, because you were from the country of Judah. Now, if you were from the country of Judah, there are two tribes that consisted in that country before 70 AD. It was the tribe of Benjamin and the tribe of Judah. Ask any Jew, none of them either know or they bypass the facts of what tribe they're from. It's just Jew. And why it's Jew, we'll show you in the sarcophagus of ancient civilization why they don't choose a tribe. We're going to show you. So let's deal with Zionism first and show you what Zionism is. I hope you guys can see this screen. My camera's not that good, so I hope you can see the screen and hear it. So let's listen to this real quick.
What is Zionism? Zionism is a political and national movement aimed at creating and sustaining a Jewish state in the Middle East. Now, according to many traditional and Orthodox Jewish teachings, Jews are forbidden by God to have their own state until their Messiah comes. But this hasn't stopped Zionism from pushing towards that very goal. So where did this all start? Let's go back to 1897. A man named Theodor Herzl formed the World Zionist Organization. He advocated for the creation of a Jewish state in Palestine, and is even mentioned in the Israeli Declaration of Independence. It was tough to be a Jew in Europe at that time. With anti-Semitic sentiments rising, Herzl felt the only way for his people to live in peace was for them to have their own country. Palestine was chosen, and a popular slogan started spreading around the world. A land without a people, for a people without a land. The only problem was, Palestine wasn't a land without a people. A large number of Muslims and Christians, along with a smaller number of Jews, had been living there together in peace for centuries. But for many Christians,
since 642 AD. 642 AD.
Following the fall of the Ottoman Empire at the end of World War I, and along with British support, Jewish immigration to the newly British-occupied Palestine was steady in the early 20th century. Then there was a turning point, World War II. Following the Holocaust, the flow of Jews to occupied Palestine boomed, and many Western countries began backing the idea of a Jewish state in Palestine. Although a UN resolution recommended both an independent Arab and Jewish state in the region, Israel went ahead and declared their independence in 1948, and was recognized by US President Harry Truman that very same day.
Who was a Zionist?
Achieved its main victory. In the period after its establishment, Israel carried out an invasion of neighboring countries, and at the end of 1967's Six-Day War, Israel extended its control in the region, displacing countless Christian and Muslim Palestinians. A year later, the 28th World Zionist Congress adopted the Jerusalem Program, a list of 5 goals, which are the current makeup of modern Zionism: the unity of the Jewish people and the centrality of Israel in Jewish life, the ingathering of the Jewish people in its historic homeland, the strengthening of the State of Israel, which is based on the prophetic vision of justice and peace, the preservation of the identity of the Jewish people through the fostering of Jewish and Hebrew education, and the protection of Jewish rights everywhere. In practice,
Zionism.
the goals of justice and peace have been lost to many of the non-Jewish people living in the region. The Israeli military has been illegally controlling and occupying much of Palestine, and constant new illegal settlement building on Palestinian land by the Zionist state has been condemned by much of the international community. So what do you think about Zionism?
So that's it. So that's a quick rundown of Zionism. It's terrible because them people ain't even supposed to be there. Even according to their own orthodoxy, they're not supposed to be there because their ultra-Orthodox Jews know that if they got kicked out of the land, then they're not supposed to come back. What the problem is that these people got kicked out of the land in 135 AD. They are called Idumeans. They are actually Edomites, but they were later called Idumeans. I'm going to show you this in a history book here. Thanks for everybody listening in. Now, I want to show you this. This is from the Bible, and I know a lot of people don't believe the Bible, but the Bible is an historical document. And people take it as a religious book because the Catholics and the Jews or the Edomites or the Idumeans changed it into a religion. And it's not supposed to be a religion. It's supposed to be a matter of fact. But that's not the case today because people have to profit off religion. So that's why you have religion. But this is the book of Obadiah. And I know, like I said, some of you guys are atheists. That's fine. You don't have to believe in God to understand facts. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to believe that the God of this Bible is real. You don't have to. But you have to believe the facts in this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they are. Now, they're going to go into the vision of Obadiah. 1 second here. I got to get this 1 through 3 out of here because I got to show you the part. Because what I'm going to show you is 70 AD. Because what I want to do is I want to show you guys that these people are not actually Jews first. And then I'm going to go in and show you Zionism, how they want to build a third temple when the Bible says that Jesus is going to build a third temple, according to the Bible. You know, and these people go to the Bible. They're going to start making people follow these laws called Noahide laws. And you're going to have to follow 7 laws eventually, you know, because they're taking over the world through Zionism, which is why everybody is against it. Even the Jews, they know that they don't want to get wiped out because they're living under the prophecy of the real Jews. And I could tell you who the real Jews are, but we'll deal with that here after a while. But okay, so this is Obadiah. Now, it says, verse 6, it says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Why does it say that? Because Esau is not Esau. He done took on someone else's identity. So it says, all the men of thy confederacy. So Esau or the Idumeans or today's Jews or the Zionists are in a confederacy. Who they are in confederacy with? They're in confederacy with the Arabs, who are the Ishmaelites, and the Catholics, who are the Gentiles. That is who Edom or Idumea or the Jews are in confederacy. But they have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. And they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee, and there is none understanding in him. He talking about the Catholics, because what's going to happen is they're going to build their third temple, and the Catholics are going to, or the Pope is going to go over there, take away their daily sacrifice, because they're going to bring back the animal sacrifice. Now, if you know anything about Israelites, the animal sacrifice was what they did for the remission of sins. But since Jesus came, according to, and it's not really religion, it's this history, but people done turned it. So when Jesus came, when I say this kind of stuff, it puts something in your brain like, oh, Jesus, oh, religion, oh, and then you start thinking about when you were little. Don't think about that. This is facts. So it says, it's none understanding in him. The Pope, if you read Romans chapter 1, it tells you that God, because of their stupidity, let them go ahead and do all the bad stuff they do, like rape the kids and all that. Because people say, how can God let them rape them? Well, he gave them over to a reprobate mind. You know what I'm saying? According to the Bible. Now, like I said, think what you want as far as, you know, because I'm not on religion. I don't give a shit about religion. I deal with facts and history. It says, shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, destroy the wise men out of Edom and the understanding out of the mount of Esau? Now, here's what I want y'all to understand. Verse 10 say, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. What violence against the brother Jacob did the Edomites do? Let me get you this violence they did. 70 AD is the violence that they did. Hold on, let me show you real quick, and then I'm going to read the rest of this and show you that this is the same time period this Obadiah is talking about, 70 AD, just like this history book that I have, okay? Hold up. Okay, this is page 372, look. Sarcophagus of Ancient Civilizations. It's a history book, see? I'm a history buff. I have a library. So 372. Page 372. Okay, this is what it says. It says, in 37 BC, the Roman Senate appointed Herod as king of the Jews. Later, he came to be known as Herod the Great. Herod, in turn, established his own brother-in-law, the Idumean Costobarus. So Herod's brother-in-law was an Idumean. So what does that make Herod? An Idumean. So Herod was not a Jew. He was an Idumean. But I'm going to show you why they call themselves Jews now. It says brother-in-law, the Idumean Costobarus, a priest of Kos, as ruler of Idumea and Gaza. This was the beginning of the Herodian dynasty. Henceforth, the Idumeans were reckoned as Jews. Let me read that again. Henceforth, the Idumeans were reckoned as Jews. What does reckoned mean? Made, looked upon as Jews. And their hand was counted as one of the 11 tetrarchies of Judea. So basically what happened was the Judeans, or the Jews, allowed the Idumeans to be reckoned as Jews because their king was an Idumean. So if their king was an Idumean, he had to be a Jew. But they weren't Jews because they were not from the tribe of Judah. Do you understand? Do you see what I'm saying here? LOL, what a library, brother. I wish y'all could see this. It says, but the union between them and the Jews proved of little blessing. Rather, they became an element of weakness to the Jews in the moment of need. They treacherously betrayed them to Rome. By nature, they were cruel and barbarous, fierce and turbulent. At the time of the Romans, under Titus's besieged Jerusalem in 70 AD, the Idumeans, along with the Zealot party, early joined in the rebellion against the foe. Through the influence of John Gustrala, and as Josephus informs us, 20,000 Idumeans were allowed access to the holy city to only fill it with robbery and bloodshed. They spared nobody. The outer temple was completely covered with blood. 8,500 perished there in one day. But the rage of the Idumeans was not confined to the temple precinct. They betook themselves to the city and plundered every house and slew everyone they met. Idumeans are Edomites, who are the brother of Jacob, which are Israelites. So his brother just betrayed him to the Romans, just like Cain slew Abel. So from this point, from 70 AD, these Idumeans became known as Jews. And then they were eventually kicked out of land in 135 AD. And if you ask any Jew about 135 AD, they will gladly tell you the story of it. I'm telling you. Now let's go back to the Bible. Okay, so we read in history in the sarcophagus of ancient civilization that these people were reckoned as Jews. Well, hey, Willow Kelly, you say the Bible of today isn't the original scripture that was written. I beg to differ because I can speak Hebrew. I can speak Paleo Hebrew. I know how to read it and write it. And all that the King James Version is a transliteration from the Hebrew into the English. So you can try to play that game if you want to. We ain't on none of that. Cause I studied all this stuff. Even the name Jesus, because I know it's some people who got a problem with the name Jesus. They want to call it Yahshua. But what the problem is that what people don't understand is that the New Testament was transliterated from Greek into English. So the name from Greek, as far as Jesus, is uh I forget, Christos. And then that transliterates into Jesus. So, and I got all the history on that. So you can go on somewhere with that. And I'm not trying to disrespect you in that regard, but it's just, I just love how people want to try to bring up stuff to try to make it not right. You know what I'm saying? I read the history that these Idumeans were reckoned as Jews. It says, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. So that's that violence when they filled the city with bloodshed, what we read in history. It says, in that day thou that stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces. We just read that the Romans besieged the Israelites in 70 AD and took them into captivity. We read that. Entered in his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. Didn't we just read that the Idumeans were released into the city and they killed 8,500 in one day? It says, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah, in the day of their destruction. The children of Judah, because they were Jews, the tribe of Benjamin and the tribe of Judah. The Idumeans were reckoned as Jews. It's a switch. They switched. Thou shouldest not have entered into my gates of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked upon their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. That's 70 AD right there. Arabic scripture came from Sumerian clay tab, Egyptian scrolls, Amen, came from Amar-Ra. I've got all the history too, but I enjoy the perspective. Always willing to learn. It's all good, Willow, but the English is just fine. You know what I'm saying? The English is just fine. What it is that people want to be smart and they want to sell shit and they want to sell books and they want to be smart and be seen to men. That's why you got all these people saying, hey, yeah, Egyptology. And I know all that. You know what all that is? It's Kabbalah. Every religion comes from Kabbalah. Look it up. That's the mystery religion. Every religion comes from Kabbalah. How you think they're going to unite everybody into a one world religion? Through Kabbalah. Look it up. What you think that black box in Mecca is? That's Kabbalah. I know about all that stuff. But what my game here is to get you to understand that these Jews ain't the Jews of the Bible, how they trying to portray themselves to be. And that they are a people called the Idumeans, who were originally called Edomites, who come from Esau, which is the brother of Jacob, who are the actual Israelites or the Jews. That's my aim in this presentation. So now that we got that, I want to show you in Revelation real quick, because this is a historical document. I hate people with their religion, try to bring their religion into it. Has nothing to do with religion. This is a historical document. Okay, Revelation. This Revelation 3:19, or Revelation 3:9. It says, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come to worship before thy feet and to know that I have loved thee." He talking to the Israelites. So the Israelites are still in captivity. So them people who say they Jews, they can go ahead and keep doing it. But there's a faction of the so-called Jews who actually understand that there ain't supposed to be an Israel until their Messiah comes. The Messiah must come first. But these Zionists are not about the Messiah. They want their temple. They want to build a third temple. So I want to show you these Jews who don't like Israel or Zionism.
We have God on our side.
We're in Stamford Hill, a Jewish neighbourhood in North London. We're here to meet the UK branch of the controversial ultra-Orthodox Jews of the Neturei Karta. These guys campaign against Zionism and for the immediate dismantling of the State of Israel. Many find their stance mind-boggling, and they're pretty unpopular, especially among other Jewish people. They're often labelled as extremists for hanging out with Iran's former president Ahmadinejad and far-right nationalists from Hungary's Jobbik party. I want to find out why the Neturei Karta are so driven by their convictions that they're ready to be alienated by their own people.
Yes, my name is Rabbi Beck.
How big is the Neturei Karta here in Stamford Hill?
The fighters against Zionism here in Stamford Hill is several hundred. But people, what they are anti-Zionists, there are thousands here in Stamford Hill.
Right from the start, Haredi Jews, known as ultra-Orthodox, voiced their opposition. Not only did they fear the rise of secularism, they also believed Jewish people shouldn't have their own state before the coming of the Messiah. Over time, some ultra-Orthodox groups softened their attitudes, and they began to enjoy the benefits of Israel. Others have maintained their opposition. And on the most radical end of the anti-Zionist spectrum is the Neturei Karta.
I will put in paper in the machine. I don't know how to print out.
Rabbi Beck is keen to get his message out, so he's invited me to tag along on a flyering mission around Stamford Hill. So is this your friend who's arriving?
Yes.
His protege, Rabbi Blyer, was coming along too. You have a very nice motorbike.
Oh, thank you. This is one flyover. This is mostly explained why we are against the state of Israel.
Do you find it important to go around and distribute this?
Israeli propaganda is so strong. So obviously we feel obliged to do the opposite.
Sorry if you can see it inside. He will see it here.
So I go at the very back?
Yes, I'm very sorry.
Okay, that's fine. So how do you two know each other?
He was a teacher in school. I was a child in the same school. So I know him very as a kid. He's very famous as a child.
Do you deliver flyers like this to make more and more people aware of your existence?
Not of my existence, of the existence of the Torah. We are the Neturei Karta, guardians of the city. We try to guide people what is the right way in Judaism. Like if a woman going dressed not so modest, or there's some shops where they sell things not in the Jewish style, we call them, look, please stop it. You're not allowed here in our neighborhood. Of course, sometimes they get angry, but they understand that in the end of the day, we are right. If you don't like it, okay, it goes to other places. Nobody forces him to live here. I feel it for my duty in my life to teach people in the right way.
And what is the right way?
You want me to teach you Judaism in 1 minute?
Can you? That must be your synagogue.
Yes. Sometimes here, people coming and they try to take it down.
Really?
Yes, but when I bought one sign, I bought in the same time 5. because I know sometimes people get angry on us. They rip it off and we have to put it again. You can see also they put here on the door the Star of David. We painted already down, but what we can do. This synagogue came under attack a few times. Sometimes thrown stones on the window and I have to replace the window. They don't like what we say. So the only thing what they can say, oh, these are fanatic people, these are extremists.
How come so few people know about you guys?
How often did you see people like me? We have here at least 40, 50 types of books against Zionism in the State of Israel. Here's the Holy Scriptures.
Yeah, what does it say?
Here is just a crown, that means the crown of the Torah. And here is just the beginning of each, the 10 Commandments.
Does the State of Israel break any of the 10 Commandments?
The 6th, don't kill. The 8th, don't steal. The basic of the Jewish religion is to trust God. If God sends us in exile, stay in exile. We have to wait for the coming of Messiah.
Carter would define that they interpret scripture in the right way, and the rest of us have it wrong. It's very much their way or no way, so we wouldn't be.
See, I hate that. I hate that right there. Their way, no way. I hate that.
They have a fundamentalist view of the Torah.
Sure. Once any interpretation becomes unquestioning, it's problematic.
So your movement is, as you call it, a critical friend of Israel's. The Netre Karta is taking that a lot further. What do you think about that?
There's been a very large conversation within the Jewish community about when it's legitimate and when it's not legitimate to criticize Israel. It's Netre Karta's view that the state of Israel shouldn't exist until the Messiah comes, and they will do anything to ensure that that religious ideal is fulfilled.
Judaism rejects the state of Israel and condemns its atrocities.
Yeah.
The protest falls on a Saturday, the Sabbath. So there's a bunch of restrictions they must stick to, one being not to use public transport.
This is a Hyde Park, where the Israeli embassy located, just here.
Okay.
Our synagogue is located here.
This is going to be such a long walk.
It's a long of 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours.
Yes.
So we need to be...
To ignore it.
We have a goal of this war. So this gives us very much satisfaction.
So we're almost by the Israeli embassy.
So you see, we could stop it there. Okay, we could stop it there. So, you know, as you can see that you got the another group of so-called Jews, the ultra-Orthodox Jews, who have the right understanding, if they were real Jews, that you're in exile and there's no way you can come back. So they align with the BDS movement, and politically, this is why a lot of people support the BDS movement and the Palestinians subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? Because what's right is what's right, and them people is wrong. Let me show you. This is the Egyptian. This is the former Egyptian president. He was murdered for this. And he was this was Gamal Abdel Nasser. This was Muammar Gaddafi's mentor. And he said, the war for Israel, when he was asked about peace in the Middle East, the late president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, stated, the Jews will never be able to live here in peace because they left here black but come back white. So the real Jews are a dark race of people. And if you want to find out who the real Jews are, you read Deuteronomy 28 and find out what people came to their captivity in ships. So if you find the people in ships, black people who came in captivity in ships, Those are the real Jews. So we got Gamal Abdel Nasser who said that these people ain't real Jews. We have history that says those people ain't real Jews. They are Idumeans who are reckoned as Jews because they were the brother of Jacob, who is the Jews. Let me read this to you. This is visiting the nation the Rothschilds built. Well, let me read this first. It says, the Rothschilds had a major role in the Bavarian Illuminati, and it is known as one of the sons of Amschel was a member, right? Okay, so they was Freemasons. It says they adopted the hexagon for their family comes from the 17th century Mayor Amschel Bauer. It began hanging out a red hexagram in front of their house to identify it. Mayor Amschel then decided to take the name Red Shield, change it to Rothschild in German, after the Red Seal of Solomon that they used. And then, according to the Luciferian Alice Bailey, and she was also a MK Ultra victim, Alice Bailey. The Rothschilds proposed to buy all of Erez Israel. It took many years for the Rothschilds to finally create Israel. The Rothschilds are a primary force behind the creation of Israel, so it is appropriate that the nation carries its magical seal of Solomon as their state logo, which it's a hexagram. And a bunch of different Druids, a bunch of people use that thing. So the Jewish 6-point star has no roots in Judaism. Let me read visiting the nation the Rothschilds built. In 1974, in the summer of the Yom Kippur War, this author toured Israel and got the chance to personally visit many of the buildings like the Knesset that the Rothschilds' money built. The Knesset is the Israeli equivalent of the United States Congress's Capitol building. One of the Rothschilds, in his will, left money for ongoing building projects in Israel, and the Rothschilds are honored with a street named after them in Jerusalem. The people of Germany and Turkey have been very close. Turkish Gastabeaters or guest workers in Germany with the Turks. The Turks fought, Turkey fought on Germany's side in World War I, and a few powerful Jews, including the Rothschilds, were responsible for the wording of the treaty imposed on Germany that ended World War I. And that also is what caused Hitler to snap out, because of that treaty and the creation of Israel. Hitler was trying to stop the creation of Israel. He was actually an Ashkenazi Jew, hence the word Nazi, Ashkenazi. That's where Nazi comes from, Ashkenazi, because Hitler was an Ashkenazi Jew. So it says, the treaty gave the Rothschilds the German-owned railway rights to Palestine, which had been a part of the Turkish Ottoman Empire, thus paving the way for the Rothschilds to have a sure leverage to dictate policy concerning Palestine. The Rothschilds had made loans to Turkey, which amounted to almost 100 million pounds. When the Turkish government collapsed after World War I because they were on the losing side, the Rothschilds had a claim on Palestine because of those unpaid Turkish loans. The British government followed the dictates of the Rothschilds through the Rothschilds' British proxies, and the Rothschilds were able to gain leverage to create the steps that led to the nation of Israel today. So you have the Rothschilds, who are Zionists, and they created this nation. So this wasn't something that's divine. and oh, Israel's coming back. Even those who understand the Torah understand that the Jews ain't supposed to come back to the land until the Messiah comes, because the Messiah is supposed to come and bring everybody back to the land. You can go to Ezekiel chapter 47 and read that. So I'm not trying to make this no Bible thing, but the Bible has a lot to do with it because it is a historical document to which you can follow this situation. So Zionism is the creation of this state of Israel, and if you believe in God or not, it is against the Bible that this should have been done in 1948, which is why the Ishmaelites or the Arabs immediately attacked them. Because the Arabs came into this land and took over all Egypt. They took over Egypt. Egypt is a black nation. Libya is a black nation. All these are black nations, but the Arabs came in and took them over. So the Arabs also came and took Palestine in 642 AD, and they've been living there ever since until 1948 when the Jews started to kick them out. So this is what we're fighting against. These people ain't even real Jews. And you ain't even gotta like, I don't even, because I know they not real Jews. I don't come out and be like, hey, you're not a real Jew. I don't come out and be like that. I let them, you could think you're a Jew if you want. That's fine. I'm talking physical. Because spiritually, according to Christ, everybody is a Jew if you deal with Jesus, right? So I just wanted to put that out there. I'm not religious. I ain't on none of the religion, but I stick with the facts. And if this history line up with this Bible, I'm going to believe what this Bible say. Period, point blank. So I wanted to put that out there and do a deep dive into Zionism and who these people are. All it is Esau is still mad because he thinks Jacob stole his birthright. So that's why he's over in that land right now. But eventually, according to the Bible, a historical document, the Messiah is supposed to come back. Jesus was a real figure. Look it up in the history books. He was real. You can look it up in the Jewish encyclopedia. Jesus was a real person. So, but, according to the Bible, he's the Messiah. So if the Jews are looking for a Messiah, who are they looking for? Y'all heard it from child. They're looking for the Antichrist, right? So on a political level, now that we know the historical background, now you can oppose Zionism with a real thought process. I know who you are. I know who you are, Ishmael. I know who you are, Esau. And I know actually that land does not belong to either one of you, but Ishmael has more of a claim to that land than Esau does. Because Esau got kicked out in 135 AD. And Ishmael came and took it in 642 AD. So that's it. So I hope y'all got some understanding. I know I was all over the place, and I know if you have no understanding at all of this stuff, all this went over your head. You have no clue what the hell I'm talking about. But for those who have any kind of intellect as far as this is concerned, I hope that this gave you some buzzwords you can go search out for yourself. So when we say we're against Zionism, we're not against them people. We know who they are. We are against the idea that they have a nation and that nation is going to rule over man. We reject that, period. So that's it. So with that, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Much love. I'm going to look at the comments real quick, and then I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Hold up. Sabrina, I'm blocking this on this. I'm blocked on this account. Oh, she's blocked. I don't know why. Okay, let me see some other ones. Gerard said we need to end this violence on the truth. Yeah, we need to end violence on the truth, and people need to start listening. The Ashkenazi Jews are the European Jews. They're from Europe. They have European descent. He says, show us the real Jews, the ones that love the Torah. Yep. And in the Bible, it says that the majority of the Edomites or the Idumeans are going to be killed, but it's going to be that little bit of Edomites who believe the truth, and they're going to be spared. You know, and that's according to if you believe the Bible. If you don't believe the Bible, then who gives a shit? But I'm just telling you what it is. It says the Zionists are the real anti-Semites. Yeah, they are, Gerard. They actually trying to rule us. They're trying to rule us, call us all goyim, cattle. I'm curious about the Ashkenazi. Yeah, look it up. Look up Ashkenazi Jew. You'll see that they come from Germany and Poland. And you'll see that those German and Poland Jews were the ones who started the Nazi regime. If you look that up. This whole Holocaust thing was just a PR stunt in order to get the state of Israel, the sympathy for the people to have that state. And I know that's controversial. Oh my God, it was a Holocaust. How can you say that, Tony? I'm just telling you what they did so that you would be okay with it, because the longer the time comes, the stupider the people become. The people in the 40s are not as dumb as our generation is. The people of the 40s and the 50s, they weren't stupid like our generation is, even though we have way more access to knowledge than they did, and they were smarter than us. It's crazy. So I just wanted to put that in your ear. You know, this is nothing to hurt anybody. This is knowledge. I've been knowing this stuff for 10 years, but you know what? Nobody was ready to hear that them people not the real Jews. Let me say it that 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's just now these people are trying to build the third temple. So when they build a third temple, we know Antichrist time is coming. You know what I'm saying? They stole the land from Christian, Muslim, and Jews. Zionists are oppressive. Exactly, Gerard. Gerard nailed it. Yep. They are the oppressors, disobeying the Torah. Because all the religions, when they look in those religious books, all of them say, go back to the Torah. You go in the Quran, it says, go back to the Torah, the people of the book. Teaching people the Bible is the holy word of God is the only way. I feel you, Gerard, but people ain't going to look at it like that, man. People not going to want to hear that the Bible is the holy word of God. What they going to want to, how I'm presenting it is, in my view, the best way that a secularist person who has no idea who God is can get some understanding. Because a lot of these people, they just shut it off like, I don't care, you know, but I believe in God. I believe in Jesus, you know what I'm saying? And I'm political. So I don't bring that into the conversation. You know what I mean? But when these people trying to bring some biblical, talking about we the chosen people. What you chosen to do, brother? What you chosen to do? They ain't got no answer for what they chose. We're God's chosen people. Well, what did he choose you for? You know what God's chosen people, you know what the Israelites were chosen to do? They were chosen to teach the word of God. They were chosen to teach this Bible to the world. But guess what happened? They didn't follow it. So now they got kicked out the land, and now they in exile. That's what happened. Right? Because he said, you're not going to be no priest unto me. You know what I'm saying? You're out there jangling. You know, ain't nobody, you're not going to talk to me, the earth with my words acting like that. You know what I'm saying? So he put them out. And he made the remembrance of Israel to cease from among men. So when you ask somebody who a Jew is, you think it's a white dude. And Jews are black people. Ha! Ain't that crazy? So they've already got all the parts gathered. All they have to do is assemble them. Yeah, I know, Willow. And here's what they're dealing with. They're dealing with either building a temple on the side of the Temple Mount or blowing up the Dome of the Rock. That's where they at right now. What should they do at that point? That's where they at. Should we blow up the Dome of the Rock? In the Bible, it doesn't even speak of the people building the temple. The third temple is supposed to be built by Jesus. It says the branch is going to build the third temple. So Jesus is supposed to come back and then he build a third temple. Right now, the temple is your flesh. You know what I'm saying? You the temple. According biblically. Co-opted. Yep, that's right, Sabrina. They co-opted it. Hell yeah. Yeah, yep. They co-opted the whole thing. So this is why you have this war in the Middle East, because them Arabs know they ain't the real Jews. That's why. They know they phony. That's why they don't like them. But at the same time, they aligned with them because they don't want to be killed. You know what I'm saying? It's double-minded. You know, we think of you either this way or you this way. But with those kind of people, they can be both ways. They can be double-minded. They can be this way and this way. It's ridiculous. But they got the whole world snowed. They got the whole world snowed. Just like Ahan Omar. She said Israel got the whole world hypnotized. She didn't lie. They do got the whole world hypnotized. But they supposed to, according to the historical document called the Bible. So I know some people don't believe what I'm saying. That's fine. Do I hate you? No, I could care less. You can believe me or you don't have to believe me. It don't matter to me because I got the knowledge. You the one who got to get it. So with that, I wanted to say thank y'all for listening in. I'm looking at the comments. Hey, Betty Carroll, what's going on? Hey, Willow, I like you. I like your style, Willow. Keep coming around. Maybe friend me or something. Maybe we can talk. You good people. Bobby. Yeah, we need to get a conversation, Bobby. Yeah, I want to talk to you too, brother. No problem, Willow. Willow Kelly. Add me. You good people. I think you good people. You good people. Bobby, get up with me, my brother. Yeah, that dude a beast. That Bobby dude in there, he a beast. He got mad knowledge. Gerard, Kenyatta Hay, beast. Mad knowledge. Do you know I listen to this dude every morning? Every morning, 9 a.m. sharp. Yep. Dude is a beast. So he gave me the courage to come out and say this stuff. What he be saying on his broadcast, I be like, whoa, 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 hey, whoa, Gerard, going a little far, ain't you? Going a little far into that truth, ain't you? And people accept it. I was like, well, shit, I'm going to get out there and say it then. I'm going to go ahead and say more truth then. If people ain't tripping by what you saying here, I could say this then. So he gave me the inspiration to do this, in all honesty. Exactly, Gerard. And if they care, they'll research it themselves. Exactly. Exactly. It'll be all on you. All on you. It's on you to be knowledgeable. It ain't on me to be your master. This is what them Jews been teaching us for centuries, that we need a master and we too goddamn stupid. No, we're not. We are just as intelligent as them, if not more, because we're not corrupted. So, I love all y'all, man. Y'all good people. And I'm just trying to push the truth. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be biblical or whether it be just straight up fact. That's all I'm about. That's all I'm about. I got kicked out the Green Party. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a green no more. I'm all about truth. We got the Green News Network. We pushing truth through the Green News Network, pushing truth through Gerard Kenyatta Hay. I love y'all, man. Grace and peace to y'all.